Recently, I made a comment on Smith machines. Do you love them or do you hate them? Is it a valuable tool for strength training? In this video, I'm going to break down my thoughts on Smith machine and if I put them into my workouts. One of the biggest advantages to me is safety. Because the bar moves on a fixed track and has adjustable safety stops at the bottom, you can lift without worrying about getting pinned under a failed rep. Additionally, they have rungs that the bar hooks onto. These are typically viewed as heights for racking your weight during different exercises, but I also like to view them as another layer of safety. While I'm on the Smith machine most of the time, I'll take a set to failure and then do partials. Having those rungs allows me to do partials re-rack on a lower rung instead of either stopping early or getting stuck under the bar for a failed rep. Now I want to address two common things I hear when talking about the drawbacks to a Smith machine. One, you don't utilize your stabilization muscles because the bar is on a fixed track. And two, it's easier. I do agree that you don't utilize the stabilization muscles as much, but I'll come back to that in a minute. I want to first talk about the misconceptions that they are easier. I've heard a lot of people say that they can lift more weight using a Smith machine and that it's easier and so on. The starting weight of the Smith machine typically ranges from 15 pounds to 45 pounds. Most of them that I've seen are around 20 pounds. Standard barbell weighs roughly 45 pounds. This is already a 25-pound difference. Now you can see why some people might say that they can lift more weight on the Smith machine when they may not be accounting for the weight difference in the bar. And yes, for some people, stabilizing muscles not being a limiting factor can lift more. But is that such a bad thing? So if it seems easy, what do? Simple. If it seems easy, just add more weight. Now about those stabilizer muscles. There are a couple points I want to touch on. As I already stated, Smith machines do limit the activation and use of stabilization muscles. There are things you can do to compensate. However, limiting the use of these muscles is not such a bad thing depending on what you're trying to do. So in some training, let's say hypertrophy or bodybuilding for example, we want to isolate muscles as much as possible to only target the muscles we want to target. Stabilizer muscles aren't very big and yes, can be a limiting factor to how much you lift. Limiting or removing the use of stabilizer muscles allows us to really focus on the muscles we want to target and potentially lift more if they were a limiting factor for you. If you're worried about not training your stabilization muscles, remember they can always be trained using traditional methods such as barbells or dumbbells. In my hypertrophy program, I schedule Smith machine a lot. It allows for muscle isolation and a safer way to do partials. So what are my final thoughts? Smith machines are a great tool for lifters, especially looking to isolate specific muscles. Depending on your goals, they can be mixed in with other methods of training or they can be the predominant mode of training, but variation is key. Alright, so there you have it. My thoughts on Smith machine. Like any other piece of gym equipment, it has its pros and cons, but when used correctly, it can be a valuable tool for building strength and muscle. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you use the Smith machine in your workouts? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And of course, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. We want to target. Stabilizer muscles are very